Chemistry A, day 3 handout, page 9, I think.
Day, right?
All right. So here it comes. Step 1. With a pencil, you can watch first, but for those of you who may want to do it at the same time, I guess you can. I'm using a highlight because that's what I have, but you use a pencil. The plan is this. Is there enough space? It's not going to work out. I'm going to try it. You see? It's not going to work out. This is why. All right, let's pause it. I'll do it on a board. When I'm willing to erase. Corey with the K, he might be famous one day, so I'll keep that up. Let's see, he's planning on having some shoes with clock 7. He says he's going to give me a pair for my son. All right, here it comes. If I were reflecting this rectangle over the line with my pencil, I would trace the rectangle. You would trace your triangle. You don't have to do it yet. You can watch first just to get an idea of what's going to happen, like a movie trailer. You would also draw a line over the, you trace the line. One thing I didn't have you put, you're going to also put a plus sign. That plus sign is going to be your reference point, because what you're going to do, once you trace it with your pencil, because this is tracing paper, it doesn't absorb the ink, not the ink, the lead. So this lead could smudge if you moved it with your finger. And that's the point, because what you're going to do, you're going to flip, that is reflected over the line. When you flip it, the line stays exactly where it was, the plus sign stays exactly where it was. So actually, on your actual picture, do me a favor, put a plus sign on your actual picture. Because that plus sign is actually going to be important. In other words, draw a little line through this line, draw a horizontal line through the vertical line to make a perpendicular line. I'll come around and I'll show you. Someone at your table will figure it out. But here's the deal. Trace the triangle, trace the line, trace the plus sign. Why? Because the first thing that you're going to do to get the reflection is you're going to flip it over just like this. Line on line, plus sign on plus sign. And then what are you going to do next? You're going to retrace, but a little bit hard, so you can make a tattoo. And we'll find out who in here has a tattoo or who's planning on getting one. But you'll trace it here. You get the idea. Trace the triangle. And if you do it right, a tattoo of the triangle should wind up on the other side of the line that you trace. Let's find out who knows what I said. Thumbs up. I know exactly what I'm trying to do. Thumbs down. No clue. In between, like, I think, show me thumbs. That way, hopefully there's at least one thumbs up at each table. And up, down, or medium. I got it? No, I don't. In between. So there's one there. Sideways, you all got it up? All right, sideways. All right. So thumbs up. You guys work through what you're doing. Sideways, again, essentially what you're doing with this triangle is you're going to draw the triangle, flip the paper. If you did it right, the triangle is going to wind up as a reflection. Well, what would that reflection look like?
What does that make you draw that line?
So you have a handout. You're taking out your handout. Day 3 handout. So for those, again, who are not quite sure, let me show what the final picture is going to look like while the thumbs up, they get started. So on your tracing paper, imaginary tracing paper, I just put my tracing paper on. Step 2, I'm going to trace the triangle, the A, trace the line, put a plus sign. With my tracing paper, I'm going to flip it over so that if I do it right, the triangle is going to wind up staring at each other. The C is going to be backwards. The A, the B. And with my pencil, I'm going to trace that so that it stamps that on the other side of the line. When you remove your tracing paper, it's going to be light. It's going to be a hint. You're going to see that. So start by tracing first. Once you get to tracing and your line's out, so you do next. Yeah. So you did that with just flipping it? Or you did that just looking at it? All right. Get ready. So let me show. So here's the finished product. This is Richard's. He did this thing. He put it on here like that. Booyah, he started like that. And then from there, he flipped over his tracing paper like this. I'm going to assume that he then traced it again. And then when he removed it, after tracing it again, booyah, perfect reflection. Anyone know how we know this is a reflection? There are two things that have to happen if it's a reflection.
Equidistant.
They're equidistant, have to be the same distance away. And technically the other one, if we drew a line from point C to point C, it would be perpendicular. In other words, it would make a plus sign. Because Richard has done this first one, his next goal will be to you're going to do the same thing one more time. Draw the new line, flip it over the new line. Once you get that first triangle, draw the new line, flip it over the new line, and put it in. So Richard is one step, you're going to flip it now. Again, if they didn't make you, if this wasn't going to be on the test, because it's so hard for me to show on the board and on the thing, doing looking good there, the only bad news is we need it on there. You got one of those? Let me think. I think it'll be worth. I'm gonna give you one. Do those pages.
And just copy them.
Yeah. We'll take them out and trade out your blank ones for those, the ones that are in. Anybody else left their thing at home? Their day 3 at home. I can give you a copy. Yeah. No. All right. Because again, it doesn't work. So I'm gonna use a stapler to do that, and then please double check your work with someone next to you. Now the one next to it is even harder. The one with the triangle. Right there, right here too. All right. So far so good. Yeah. Now it's just time to do it one more time. You can do it over the next line. Voila. That's what they want. So again, after you flip it over the first line, you'll do that. You'll do it over the second one. They're going to have you try to do the same thing. Done. All right, so you are ready now. You go on to the top one. There are a couple people now who have finished the very first one where the line jumps and jumps. You are now ready for the tough one. The tough one, and of course for those who need to know, is ultimately going to wind up like this. Oh, I'm sorry. People who finished the first one, you do need to label your letters properly. The first time you do a reflection or a new image, you need to put prime. That's how you say this is something different than this. And if you do it a second time, you need to do double prime. Oh shoot. When you do your first letter, make sure you rename it with A prime, B prime, C prime. When you flip it again, you have double primes. A double prime, C double prime, and D double prime. Go. Here comes C. C, they want me to translate 3 to the left. Do me a favor, under the 3, put an arrow. 3 to the left. 2 downs. Please put an arrow down under the 2. They're going to ask you for the actual rule. To do the actual rule, here's how you have to write the rule. Left and right, there's going to be a big parenthesis, and the letter X is going to be for left and right, as normal. For the down, or the other one, it's going to be the letter Y, but you need space. We're going to do something with this 3 and something with this 2. Down, we're going to have the letter Y, and your job is simply this. If they say you're going to go left and right, when they ask for the rule, the official math way, it's going to be X and plus or minus 3. If it goes to the left, it's going to be a minus 3. If it goes to the right, plus 3. No big deal. That's the rule. For the Y, if it goes up, it'll be a plus whatever after the Y. If it goes down, it'll be a minus Y. With the 2, is going to be plus or minus someone? That's the rule. So I'm going to say, please write the rule of the translation. All they mean is, okay, how are you going to move it around? You got to put an X for the left and right, a Y for the up and down. In parentheses, you've written the rule. Now, let's actually do the work for my C. I'm going to the left, 3 times? 1, 2, 3. I'm going down 2 times. 1, 2. put the new dot. I give the name, and I got to give the prime on it. All right. Do the other two, then connect the dots, please. Do the other two and connect that. Like, do the other two, like what? Take A, 2 to the left, 3 down. Take B. I'm sorry, 3 to the left, 2 down. Do the same thing for that I did with C. Do it for A and B, connect the dots. And yes, you have translated. Are they going to put one of these on the test? Yes, they are. Is it going to be this easy? Yeah. All right, try that number. As if I were doing on paper, here's what it officially is. Tracing paper, do it in a different color. All right, so you got your tracing paper. What you're going to draw is the following. For where the X and Y plane intersect, the origin, you're going to put just a little plus sign there. That's going to be very important on your tracing paper. Then you're going to trace your box on your tracing paper. Put your D, your C, your A, your B. Then what you're going to do with your tracing paper, we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, and we're doing clockwise. Clock goes to the right. Basically, every time you do a click, in other words, if I twist my tracing paper until the, do me a favor, put the arrow pointing up on the tracing paper, look at mine. 90 degrees is if this arrow or this pointer were to do one click so that the arrow now points on the y-axis. That's 90 degrees right there. One click, as I will call it. If they say do 180 degrees, you'll do click, click, 2 clicks. As I asked, of course, with 270, 3 clicks. It's your 9 timetables. 9, 18, 27, 36, 90, 180, 270, 360. Here they only want 1 click. In other words, you twist it. Can I rotate this? No, I can't. 1 click. Wherever it shows up in this quadrant here, put in the dots. Now you won't reflect. You just have to pick up your paper. Like, okay, I think it was on 3, 2, 4, 5. You have to pick up your paper. You won't be able to do like we did before. Let's try it. Show me thumbs. Hey, thumbs. I know what you're talking about. Thumbs down, like, sorry, dude. In between is like, show me thumbs. I think I know what you're saying. I don't think I know what you're saying. All right, thumbs up. You do it. The non-thumbs ups, you start by putting your tracing paper on here. Copy or trace the square and put a plus sign here. Once you do that, then I'll come and I'll twist your paper for you. So you can say, like, oh, that's it? You just want me to twist my paper? Yeah, that's all I want you to do. Twist your paper 1 click so that the arrow, instead of pointing straight up, points to the right. That's what I want to do there. Moving, hopefully it worked out. The whole rotation thing clockwise. Counterclockwise would be the opposite direction. Those who miss it, somehow we'll do it at makeups or send you to Tim or something like that to do. Once you do an XY table, and we're going to use their table to actually fill it in. What does he mean to an XY table? He means put an X, a Y, 1, 2, 3. For the table that you're going to create, instead of having to do the work by hand like a long time ago, put in a 1 in the place of the X and solve it. Put in a 2 in the place of the X and solve it. No. The calculator's going to do the work for you. The 3 that I want is going to be -1, 0, and 1. Put those in for the X's. Your calculator is going to tell you who the partner is. So write on your paper what you currently see on the board. I'm going to pause. You're going to fill in right in there. It gives you the answers right there. Unless your calculator is acting up. Do this. Do blue button, plus sign, 722. Blue button, plus sign, 722.
Is it decimal?
That's how you reset these. It sends it to the default. So if somebody did something wacky, do blue button, plus sign, 722. Okay. All right.
Let me get back
Y equals then blue button table. Plus. All right. -1, -2. There's my first dot. 0, 0, 0, 0, and who else? 1, 2, 1, 2. If I had a ruler, and there are some rulers around, I connect the dots and with your calculator, if you could, you don't have to all the time, put in some of your coordinates, please. Like the 1, 2, 0, 0, and -1, 2. You won't always do it, but just right now as a reminder. Some people aren't that good. You are going to use a tracing paper in just a moment to reflect across the... I don't even know if I want to reflect, but I might still have you do it. All right, here's the other thing that I didn't want you to see right away, but now you can. If you want to see what the picture was going to look like from the beginning, can someone guess what button you would have hit? Graph is the button. It happens to be the same table button, but without hitting the blue button. So everyone hit graph. Let's see what the picture looks like. It should be that same line that you just produced. I'm going to hit my graph button. And voila. Now, it's such a small picture, you probably would have been able to put your lines in exactly where they go, but at least you can be like, okay, my stuff is correct. So again? For which one?
It's just another ladder.
It's going to be, no, it looks like it's going to go up 2 over 1. So up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and it will continue on that way. All right, what is it that they actually want you? Oh, let's do it again. Let's do it again before we actually do the answer, the reflecting. Let's do it again over here. Do me a favor. Let's go to y equals and erase or clear that first equation you typed in. So everybody go to y equals. When I say y equals, that's this button here that says y equals. Get rid of that thing, the function that's already there by hitting clear. So Thomas, go to y equals. Turn it on. Turn it on. Oh.
Push clear.
Okay. Hit my clear. Boom, it's gone. How do you do x to the second power? There are 2 ways to do it, but I'm going to do it the way that works for every single thing, and that is it. Hit your button to the right of the green, your x button. I'm going to teach you this way because it works on the other calculators as well. To raise something to a power, there is what is called a caret symbol. The caret symbol is below the word clear. Clear is below the gray button. So find the caret button. It looks like an upside down V, a capital A without the little line in between. You hit that caret button, and now whatever number you want to choose to the 5th power, to the 20th power, whatever, you can do that. I'm going to show the other way you could have done it. So let's do it this way first. Where's my 2? All right, I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to do it one more time. Hit. What happens if I hit clear? It gets rid of that. If you want to back up to delete, clear. The other way to do it would have been to do this. To raise it to the 2nd power, hit your X button. There should be an X squared button. I can't kind of see mine. Is it this guy or that guy? It's the bottom one? All right. Yeah, hit that bottom guy, and it should automatically raise it to the 2nd power. Now, we don't use that one a lot because normally they're going to actually raise it to the 3rd power, to the 5th power. So you do caret and then raise it up. So let me take... No, I got it. That's fine. I'll keep that. Table, please. Let's do a table. This table, again, same thing. Table, 3 points. I'm going to go with the -1, the 0, and the 1. I don't know what it's going to produce. -1, 0, and a 1. Please fill in the table using your calculator. Don't do any work. Work is for elementary kids. For us, we're all about graphing calculators in this age of technology. So do me a favor, how do you get to the table? Check with your neighbor. I'm not going to tell you. Check with your neighbor if you've forgotten, or show your neighbor if it looks like they're not sure. Fill in your thing, put your points in, connect the dots. In other words, due to this problem, what we just did to the very first one, let me check with my calculator. Due to problem number 2, what we just did to problem number 1. Try and create a little picture for it. Let me go turn on here. Parabola is officially it. You would put in your, is it a 1, and a 0. 1, 1, 0, connect the dots. If you haven't already, hit graph on your calculator to see what the picture should look like. A U in mathematics is a parabola. To spell it, it's like parabola. Parabola. Don't say parabola because it's parabola, but at least you know how to spell it. But here's what they're actually asking you to do. they're actually going to ask you to reflect these two things. Calculator won't do this part for you. This part you just have to know how to do on your own. So do me a favor. Since on the first one, they want you to, highlighter, please get a highlighter. Since on the first one, they want you to reflect it over the y-axis. With your highlighter, please highlight the y-axis. On the second one, since they want you to reflect it over the x-axis, please do me a favor, highlight the x-axis. And again, the rule to reflect anything is whatever line is reflecting over, the points have to be the same distance away from that line, and they have to be equidistant, and they have to be perpendicular to the line you draw between them. Well, what does that mean? If I were reflecting 1, 2 over the green line, it's 1 away, so it's 1 away. If I were reflecting 0, 0 over the green line, well, it turns out, since it's directly on the green line, the best you can do is make it a lot thicker. If I were reflecting this guy down here, 2, 1, or rather 1, 2 over the line, he just jumps right across the line, same distance, as if he were making a plus sign. I connect the green dots, and I have reflected them. For those who pick up on patterns, those who don't pick up on patterns, don't worry about what I'm about to say. But for those who do pick up on patterns, which will automatically make you good in math, watch this. The coordinates, automatically, the coordinates of the reflection, the green dot, is going to be -1, 2. I'm going to do one more coordinate and see if we see a pattern on how to reflect things over the y-axis. The coordinates for the new bottom dot is going to be -1, -2. Let me highlight something in red so that you can see the pattern. Which one is changing? Something isn't right. Something isn't right. Oh, there it is. All right. I was like, whoa, something isn't right. It is a +1, -2. So what is it that I want to highlight for them? I want to highlight the first number. I can't do it. I'll highlight the first number. Here is the original, 1, 2. The reflection is -1, 2. Here is the original that I wrote over, -1, -2. The reflection, the first number also has changed. In other words, if ever you're reflecting over the y, if you're not a pattern person, you don't even hear me. But pattern people, if ever you're reflecting across the y line, the x coordinate is going to change. So you can go from positive to negative, or you can go from negative to positive. The same thing is going to happen when you go from top to bottom for the y's. The y's are either going to go from positive to negative, or from negative to positive. Do me a favor, please, if you can, if you have the power inside your spirit to do this, label these coordinates, 1, 1. You're near the end. -1, 1. Reflect those over the x-axis. In other words, the same distance, but a plus sign. I'll do one of them so you can see it, and you do the other two. What color should I use? Red goes to blue.
Oh, we just do it backwards again, like a reflection?
Uh-huh. So that U was pointing up. It's going to be pointing in a different direction. We'll give you 35 seconds. We've got to leave this page. Oh.
Spider? All right.
Yeah. Perfect. You will see this again. So as easy or hard as it's going to be, perfect. It will do it again. And then I'll ask a question so someone can answer it out loud. The parabola is a reflection. What are the two official things that let me know that the parabola is a reflection? Can someone say? How do you know it's a reflection? They're the same distance or equidistant, and the line that you would draw between the 2 points is perpendicular to the line of reflection. In other words, it makes a plus sign. Take a look at it. It's going to be on. For these two problems, just use a graphing calculator to produce a table, but no reflection in class. To get, let's say when you do the exponent 2, to get down from the power, you have to hit the arrow to the right. What is he saying? Say I do this one here. Nice and easy. When you get to the second power on that other one, come on, let me turn it on. Let me erase it. Clear. Yeah, come on. Clear. My x squared, x, second power. It'll be up there. To get it back down, so you can do the +3. Hit the right arrow. Hit the right arrow, clink, and you're back down and you can do your +3. If you do not hit the right arrow, the +3 is going to be up there with a little 2 floating in the air. It'll be up there like it's high, like it's soul plane. It'll be like that. And if you've seen that movie, I apologize for your life.
That movie was pretty whack.
I saw like the beginning, like, oh.
Too whack.
If someone next to you isn't putting their table, then you know them. Say, come on, put your table. The teacher will say, but they won't listen to the teacher. But you may make all the difference. And they'll thank you one day when they're doing that big award. If I didn't do my table that one day, it would have never happened. Yeah, that's what they're going to say. Right,
This is a white equal. That's amazing.
Because some people have finished it and other people are going, you keep going. Things that are congruent are identical twins. You are the same shape, the same size. If you are similar, you are like Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. You are the same shape, but different sizes. Please use your tracing paper to prove that these two things are the same shape. I just don't know what you're going to write as your answer, though. Like, how are you going to say they are... You could write proved it, tracing paper, but actually do it. Then write proved it, tracing paper. So for those who are ahead, if you can draw that line, like I do the green line, this is for the video people, then you can declare that it is a reflection. You only have 3 choices. Dilation, something goes from small to big, or big to small. Reflection, it jumps over the line. So if it's not jumping over a line, like, no, that didn't, oh. No, that doesn't do it. You know it's not reflection. There's no such thing as dilation yet, so this one has to be, oh, I wish I had a thing so I could rotate it. All right, so here's what we're going to do.